Entrepreneurship is a lonely game. It's also a very stressful game. It's critically important that you have the right support structure behind you that acts as sounding boards and that can get you through the challenges that you will inevitably face. In this Mental Game Monday, I'm going through the 3 critical support structures in your entrepreneurship life that are critical. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back to the patio in Park City for another episode of Mental Game Monday. I hope you've been enjoying this series thus far. Today, I wanted to get into more of the headspace game of entrepreneurship, more specifically how lonely it can be, especially if you're a solopreneur and you're in the game yourself. Even if you have employees, it can be an incredibly stressful and lonely journey. Therefore, it's critical that you have the right people in your life and the right support mechanisms in your life to get you through some of the hurdles and the mental challenges that you're definitely going to encounter. And there's 3 that I recommend. And the first I'm going to get into actually came about this past week, partly because it was my 12-year anniversary to my wife, and partly because I've been facing a pretty interesting challenge, let's say, in one of my Amazon businesses. And so my wife, Julie, is just a fantastic resource that has 0 Amazon knowledge, not a lot of business entrepreneurial knowledge, but she knows me and she has my best intentions in place, and she knows when to kick me in the ass when I need that, and she knows when to put her arm around me when I need that too. So she's a perfect balance of having the right intentions for me. I trust her, and she knows me deeply and can kick my butt when needed and motivate me when needed. So I think the first person that you should have in your circle, or persons you should have in your circle, is somebody unrelated to your business that can have a broad view context, that can see the forest through the trees, and that has your best intentions at heart and knows you really well. Maybe it's your best friend from school. Maybe it's your uncle who you always grew up respecting. Maybe it's one of your parents that you're close with, one of your siblings that you're close with. Maybe it's a business leader or professor that you knew previously, but somebody that knows you deeply and can give you honest advice. Group number 1. Group number 2 is a mastermind group of similar peers. And when I say peers, I mean people that are in a similar size, revenue level, and goal to you. Why I think it's important to have the peer level is you're going to be facing similar challenges. You know, if you interact with somebody in a mastermind group or an accountability group that is a newbie and you're experienced, there's going to be misalignment in terms of the challenges that you face in the context that you have. Similarly, if you try to go too far above your head, I think that you just are dealing with complexities and challenges that don't right size match where you are in your current entrepreneurial journey. So seek out, 3 to 7 people that you can meet with on a regular basis that are accountable to you and you're accountable to them and that you respect. So me personally, I've got a group of about, I think it's like 6 or 7 folks. We're all 7 and 8 figure sellers. We meet every 2 weeks for a solid 3 hours. We bring outside speakers in. We have a hot seat every session where somebody in the group talks about a challenge that they're facing. And we also do education sessions because we all bring unique talents and skills to the table where we can bring those and share and educate others in the group. Equally important, we have a Facebook back-end messenger group that anytime we have a listing suppressed or a marketing challenge or an employee challenge or whatever the challenge is, we can have that as a sounding board real time, and it's likely that somebody in the group, because we're all similar levels, has been through it before. So important number 2, have a mastermind or accountability group. If you don't have one yet, I recommend a really cool free Facebook group. It's full of Australians, but there's some good folks in there. It's called the Endgame Network. So I'll leave a link to it below if you want to, network with folks, find other people that are in a similar headspace to you and a similar level to you. That's a great kind of place to assess out some talented folks. The third I recommend is having a mentor or somebody above you. So this should be somebody that you aspire to be like, or that has experience and knowledge that would be really valuable, especially in the next chapter or chapters of your journey. So me personally, I've started to interact a lot with people that have done acquisitions, that are in the venture capital space, that know about funding, that know about scaling large portfolios of brands and businesses, because that's what I want to do next year and the years ahead, is to start buying and acquiring brands. And so there's a lot of missing pieces for me. I haven't raised a large amount of money before. You know, I haven't thought about how do I consolidate a portfolio and structure it in the right way. I haven't looked at equity debt financing and how to give away appropriate amount of equity and how to structure deals that way. So for me, I'm seeking out those people and have found a lot of awesome mentors for me that can help expose knowledge, answer questions that I have, and help me learn from their mistakes so that I can get there quicker and get there more efficiently. That's it for this week in Mental Game Monday, guys. Again, having the right people behind you, beside you, and with you in your journey is so critical to overcoming not only the loneliness that can happen, the emotional despair that can happen, and the unknowns that you will encounter throughout your journey. So if you don't have those folks in your life, make that a goal for you this year and in the years ahead to add those stable of folks to your network and to your infrastructure as an entrepreneur. Stick around later this week, guys. We are going to go into normal deep dive Amazon content. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Leave comments down below if you want to let your thoughts be known. And otherwise, appreciate you being here. Cheers.